Hi, love. Welcome into your Timeless Mythos reading. I'm so grateful you're here. Whether you're returning, welcome back. Or if you're finding me for the first time, please know you're welcome, you're wanted, and you are completely safe here with me and my guides. I'm Christina. I'm a doctor of Chinese medicine and an intuitive channel. And today's reading is going to move through three parts. First, we'll dive into the myth itself. I'm going to tell you the story of the archetype who stepped forward for you today. And then the deeper themes that is stirring in your life right now. And finally, your full card spread so you can see what's shifting and how this energy is unfolding for you. The archetype arriving for you today is Artemis from the Greek pantheon as the moon. And she's bringing you a message that you reclaim your power by choosing yourself first. Now, if this found you, you can trust something here is meant for you. And because it's a collective reading, please take what resonates for you and just gently leave whatever doesn't. Somebody else needs that part. You can rest assured there is something in this reading for each of us. And when something does land for you, go ahead and like the reading to claim the energy. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so future Mythos messages can tune in even more clearly to your frequency. So now let's take a deep breath in. And let's step back into the mythos together. Artemis was born into danger. Her mother labored for days, hunted by Hera, and Artemis arrived first, pulling herself into the world before anyone could help her, and then, before she had taken even 10 breaths, she turned and delivered her twin brother Apollo herself. This is how Artemis entered the world, self-born, sovereign, instinct-led. While Apollo was given the sun, brilliance, clarity, worship, philosophy, Artemis asked for something entirely different. She longed for the night. She asked for the wilderness. She demanded a life where she belonged to no man, no authority but her own instinct. Her father granted her a bow, arrows, sacred forests, moonlight, and a band of women who swore loyalty not through obligation, but through choice. Artemis learned early that the night reveals truths the day cannot bear. In the darkness, you hear your body. In the quiet, you know yourself. In shadow, your instincts speak louder than your fear. Her descent came when Actaeon trespassed, not because he was lost, but because he felt entitled to witness her vulnerability. He tried to reduce her sovereignty to spectacle, crossing a boundary that was never meant for mortal eyes. In the ancient stories, they say Artemis destroyed him, but the deeper truth is that she protected herself. She protected the sacred. And she now protects the truth that your body, your intuition, and your boundaries are not for others to violate. Artemis arises as the one who guides women through the dangerous thresholds of life: childbirth, initiation, trauma, fear, emotional fog. She is the moonlit hunter who sees what others deny. When Artemis arrives in your reading, she is standing beside you in the dark and whispering, "You already know. Stop doubting your knowing." Artemis appears because something in your life feels unclear, whether it's someone's behavior, your own next step, the truth behind a situation, or even the way your body keeps tightening when you try to ignore what you feel. The moon card reveals some uncertainty or mixed signals, things that are hidden beneath the surface. But Artemis changes the quality of this entirely. With her here, the moon is not confusion. It's clarity that hasn't been spoken yet. Artemis guides you to trust your first instinct, the tension in your body, the boundary you need to name, the truth you feel, even without evidence. That knowing that rises in quiet moments from the core of your being. She transforms fear into a compass. She transforms fog into direction and shadows into information. When Artemis is the moon card, intuition becomes courage and boundaries become sacred. The path ahead becomes visible, even if only by a sliver of light. You don't need the certainty of logic today. You need trust in your own knowing. Moving into our card reading. So, Artemis is the goddess of intuition, sovereignty, sacred boundaries, the protector of women and the vulnerable, and the embodiment of instinct and lunar wisdom. As the moon card, the moon typically has to do with illusion or confusion. And when we see Artemis as the moon, we're really turning that into intuitive clarity. This is where fear becomes clear seeing. It sharpens your discernment, illuminates hidden truths. So this is a lot of energy about protecting you while you're navigating something that feels uncertain, strengthening your boundaries when signals maybe feel a little bit mixed, and guiding you to trust your body over your doubt. So the quick takeaway on Artemis is really that you already know, and you can trust what you feel. So let's see, as we look at the energy underneath this reading today, this is from the Wild Mystic Oracle deck, and this is the energy of rebirth. And I love this. We have the moon and what I would say is a sun or star, and then we have the snake energy on this card. Snake energy is very much primordial goddess energy. We're seeing here this rebirth of following instinct rather than doubt, of moving away from things that have disturbed your inner peace in any way, and releasing any pressure to explain your intuition to others. Instead, allowing yourself, like Artemis, to speak what you want or need, to stand in your power with clarity, and to absolutely hold the truth of your being, of your power, of your sovereignty, so that your inner knowing is guiding every step that you take. So this rebirth energy is why Artemis is here today, this protection of moving forward into your next step. We see here the Ace of Cups. This is a new beginning in love and in realization. We see here multiple kitty cats who are having a little bath in their giant cup bathtub. This is new love, new beginnings, new inspiration, new emotional connection into yourself. So again, we're really seeing this theme of bringing this energy of the huntress, of the protector and guardian of women and girls, and the pathways through the dark forest. And remembering the dark forest here, this is a metaphor for our own awakening, for our own soul. When we look at mythology and storytelling, the dark forest was really and its own sort of symbolic or archetypal energy for that which we fear, that which is unknown, the shadow within ourselves. You're following this rebirth energy, and it's particularly a rebirth in the emotional components of your world and your life. Now, these two cards came out together. Oh, how interesting. Okay, we have the Three of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, or coins. Three of Swords energy is very much about heartbreak, betrayal, difficulty. This is really having felt in the past, and possibly, right this moment, you could be in this energy of just questioning yourself, questioning your knowing, feeling maybe like life hasn't actually held you. Like, we all hear all these stories about manifestation and do this, that, and the other, and it's all going to come to you so easily. But it doesn't always work that way, does it? You can try so hard, work so hard, have all of your faith, do your prayers, do your rituals, focus on positive thinking, try to be the person who shows up early and stays late, all of these actions, and yet it doesn't always work out. And so this is this energy that you've been in, is this feeling that it feels like life hasn't been safe. It feels like, why would I trust the gods? Why would I trust the divine? Why would I trust my faith? Look at the results I've had so far. And then this comes with the energy of the Six of Coins. Six of Coins is very much about the reward after feeling alone, and it's specifically like generosity from another person. So even internal generosity. So I don't know if you can see here because it's a little dark on this card, we have this person at the top of sort of a cliff, right? This cat and I'm using the Black Cat Tarot today, by the way, because this deck is so heavily influenced by moon energy, which of course coincides with Artemis. But anyways, this cat who has all these things is reaching down and helping another cat up. So moving out of this energy of this lack of belief in life, this lack of trust or faith in life, this fear, confusion, heartbreak, feeling betrayed. And gosh, I can resonate with that so much. You know, when we've been through the worst and you think, I've showed up with a pure heart, I've showed up with good intentions, I've tried so hard to do the right thing and be the best man or woman that I can be, and yet it hasn't worked out for me. The antidote to this feeling is genuinely, and I'm not just going to say focus on gratitude, I'm going to say focus on generosity. If you look around you, the people around you, the majority of people are having a similar experience. It's hidden inside. There's this mythos that we've all heard since we were children that the world was going to be a certain way. And in the United States in particular, this idea that if I apply myself and just put things in, what I get out will be equal to what I put in. But then we find that's not always the case. Sometimes people just take from us. Sometimes we do our very best, we go above and beyond, and we're betrayed. And we're disregarded, and people take our power or try to take our power from us, try to leave us feeling small when all we were doing was showing up and trying to help, trying to be a good person. And I think this is a feeling that so many people have had, and it's coming through so strongly for you right now. There is this energy, and the solution is to bring generosity both to yourself internally, being kind to yourself, being compassionate with yourself, but also to share this with others. You have never been wrong a single day in your life when you showed up with a kind, giving, loving spirit. I'm going to say that again. You have never been wrong a single day in your life when you showed up with a kind, giving, loving spirit. That is who your spirit came here to be. The fact that there has been difficulty in that is a reflection of the great illusion we are all inside together, is a reflection of other people who have lost their true connection to the divine. When you are connected to the divine, there is nothing in you that wants to do violence or unkind things to other people. When you are connected to your own upright chi, to your own spirit's destiny, you are in this Ace of Cups energy, in this Artemis, this power and sovereignty. She did not go out seeking to destroy. She defended herself and her boundaries when necessary. That is sovereignty. It's not about conquering. It's about claiming your own territory. This rebirth into this Ace of Cups, away from this very challenging dynamic and feelings that you have been inside, and allowing the generosity of your spirit to come back forward. And let's see, at this juncture, oh, this is so beautiful. We have the Lovers energy. And you see these two beautiful lovers waltzing on the stairway up toward heaven. So the Lovers energy is really divine union. It's about a choice. Traditionally, in the Rider-Waite, like in the old tarot, lovers often signified a very important choice, and also this divine union within yourself. So we are rebirthing innocence, love, clarity, inspiration, faith, and trust in the universe and this divine unity, knowing that humans are in fact the meeting point of heaven and earth. You're not the one exception to that. You are as well. You are where spirit and material come together in a bond of infinite creative potential. That is who you are. And if it hasn't been showing up in your life that way, and it doesn't at all times for any of us, I don't care what people say, I don't care what you see on social media, that's marketing, loves. Nobody's life is as perfect as it looks online. Doesn't matter how rich or beautiful they seem to be. They are still a normal person. They gotta get up, shit, shower, and shave just like everybody else, okay? They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you. So this energy, this invitation here in this spread coming from Artemis, who's very strongly here and guiding this reading. She is one of my oldest guides that I've been working with for decades. She is inviting you into knowing that your power does not have to be battle, right? It's not true power. If I walk through the world with a chip on my shoulder, fearing others, stuck in my heartbreak energy and never trusting, that's a reaction energy, not a creative energy, right? So the invitation into rebirth is to move back into inspiration, back into generosity, back into divine union, into understanding that I've been through a series of very difficult, very painful experiences. And you know what? At times it brought me to my knees. It might have even brought me flat on the ground. And yet I am still the meeting place of heaven and earth. I am still a child of the divine. There is a light within me that is unquenchable. Nothing and no one can take that from you, ever. Now, on occasion, we forget it. On occasion, we turn the strength of that light down so that other people won't see it. Because yes, strength invites challenge. People will attack you sometimes when they see your brightness, when they see your gift. The key here is to have the strength, like Artemis, to know that you are sovereign, to be able to protect yourself, to protect your sacred space, to protect your own boundaries, sovereignty, and your joy, and your innocence, and your love. Your inspiration, those need to be protected. Not everyone is going to be deserving of those. They're simply not in a place where they can meet you with an open heart in that. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. They're just not there. And that discernment is a critical part of healthy boundaries. Now I want to see here, so this is looking at, this is the energy, what we might not be seeing so far before we pull additional cards for clarification. This is from the Moonology deck, and this energy is to know your own worth. This is this rebirth energy, okay? So there has been, this left you, this Three of Swords, these experiences where what you gave was in no way reflected by what you received back. And that is moving through me. I feel that. Had nothing to do with your value. You took it in that way. I think this has been happening since you were very young. I think you have been taking this message into yourself. That if it didn't work out for me, if the American story, right, if this mythology that we have in our country, if you're in the States with me, if this mythology about, there's an equivalent exchange, what you give is what you get, right? That mythology hasn't played out that way in your life, and it left you believing, it must be me. It can't be that the story's wrong. It must be me. It must be happening. People must be cruel to me because I'm not good enough, because I'm not worthy, because I deserve betrayal. And my love, that's just not true. No part of that is true. You have never deserved cruelty. You have never deserved to be made to feel small, to be disrespected, to have your needs, your boundaries, or your feelings given anything but honor. It's so important for you to hear that. It has never been about your worth. Artemis is here to make sure you know that. You are inherently worthy of good things, of love and kindness, being surrounded by people you can trust with all of yourself. So I want to pull some clarifying cards. Artemis, can you help me please with this? I'm wondering, as we look at this rebirth energy, this invitation into inspiration, into letting this heartbreak go, and this story of things never working out, what would be most helpful to keep in mind? What would be most helpful as we move forward in claiming that sovereignty, and particularly in turning around this question of self-worth? We have one card. I know that there are more coming. Oh, there they are. Thank you. Oh, okay. And another. Thank you, Artemis, so much. Girl, don't play. All right. Oh, there's two there. Okay. All right. So here's the order they came out in. All right. Y'all must love these clarifications. Sometimes we get so many cards. Hey, the Death card. The Death card is literally rebirth. You see, we have rebirth and rebirth here. Creation is always preceded by destruction. The Death card, as we look at how do we move into, we have to die to the previous versions of ourselves in order to become who we were born to be. There is an invitation here into very deep soul work, to let the part of yourself go, not like forcibly killing it. This is not a violent process. It's a process of integration. This energy of yours, the one that has said, I'm not good enough, and so hardened yourself against others, maybe have had a bit of a prickly energy or that kind of humor that cuts, right? That keeps you from feeling vulnerable, that keeps others from thinking you might be vulnerable. You have the opportunity to move beyond that, to integrate that into yourself and allow yourself to step much more fully into the knowing of your worth that allows you to be gentle in just exactly who you are. We have the Six of Cups and the Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. Six of Cups energy is connecting with your roots. Do you see this root network here? With this deep network of what you built in the past, there are parts of yourself. What were the things that lit you up the most when you were a child, that brought you joy? What were the ways that you connected with other people where you felt in flow, where you felt a sense of belonging? What are the ways that you are emotionally connected to the things that you simply knew when you were younger, before the worst happened? Or if the worst happened even when you were young, those things you longed for, the things you read in books or saw on movies that just sparked something in your soul that you couldn't get out of your mind. This is that inspiration, that Eight of Cups inspiration we're looking for. And Mother of Pentacles is this beautiful energy you see here. This card makes me think of Bambi's mom, right? But, in the good sense, this gentle, protective, maternal energy, this Earth Mother energy, this connection to my root chakra, right? Down that connection into your pelvis, this deep knowingness and settledness. And it's like these two cards together are inviting you to root down, to bring your energy downward into your core, into your sex organs, into your sacrum, all the way down into your feet, rooting down, down, down into the earth. You belong here. Every step you take, your spirit came into this lifetime to take, to connect with the earth, to connect with other humans, to be a part of this incredible creative matrix in which we are the universe choosing. We choose to come in and individuate and forget how gigantic our spirits are and experience life in this little human body. You belong here. You belong in any room you walk into. You belong on any path that you choose to travel down. My love, you simply belong. We have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Eight of Pentacles is about sticking through the hard part of a project. You know, when you have a big project and you're really excited about it at the beginning, and then you're like 2/3 of the way through or 3/4 of the way through, and you're tired and frustrated and bored, and you're kind of questioning every single choice in your life that led you to that moment into thinking this was a good idea? That's the Eight of Pentacles energy. The Wheel of Fortune is a change in fortunes or a fortunate change. It's about the turning of cycles. It's about releasing what no longer serves. Now, these are both in the reverse. So the opportunity here, as we see all of this, it doesn't actually have to be this hard. It doesn't have to continue. Like, it's not like I'm going to work on this and now I have to diligently work at it for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages. Like Artemis is saying, like, dive into this moon energy, ride the currents of that silvery light around you, bring it down into your being, into your body and your soul. Root yourself down into the knowing of your self-worth, and the cycle can simply turn. You don't have to continue pushing or forcing or striving to earn worthiness. Your worthiness was written on your spirit long before you were ever born. We're going to get one final card from the universe, from our Wild and Sacred Feminine deck, for a final message to close out this beautiful connection that we've had with Artemis and her incredible strength, grace, and sovereign beauty. This message of rebirth, following the pathway through the darkness, through that which is confusing, painful, or unclear, to find your own power again. Oh my gosh, I'm just dropping everything. And the cave, receptivity. Allowing yourself to receive the world, to receive life. When we've had these betrayals and these challenges, when we've felt that we might not be worthy, of course we close our heart up. Of course we close ourselves off. It would be masochistic not to. And yet the invitation here is to allow yourself once again to go into the cave, this cave of your energy, this cave of your heart, and let yourself begin to receive life again. Let yourself receive your own love first, being reborn into that, to knowing your own worth, and moving into a protected, guided, and deeply aware phase of your life where you naturally drift away from anything that disturbs your inner peace, where you no longer feel like you have to abandon yourself in unclear or difficult situations, where it's just so clear to you what feels right in your body, and you are able to honor that knowing inside yourself. If you want to receive the deeper energetic transmission from today's archetype, I've channeled a message for you. It's linked for you in the description box below. When you're ready, go listen to it and let it meet you where you are. And thank you for being here, love. Thank you for showing up for your own story with courage and an open heart. And until the next time, be gentle with yourself, okay?